Should have prepared beforehand, huh? Oh, come on. There it is. Okay. Alright. Now we're ready for more complex card tricks. So again, I'm going to show you that this is a legit deck of cards. Okay? Alright. So, I'm going to have you pick one card, any card. Doesn't matter what it is. And obviously, again, I know you can't do that over the internet, so I'll just pick one for you. And it doesn't matter what card it is. Alright? That's your card. I'm not looking at it. Just memorize that. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set that aside for a second. And I'm going to make 8 piles out of the remaining deck. Now at this point I would ask you to put your card on top of any of these piles, and it doesn't matter what pile you put it on, and so I know you can't do that obviously, like I've said multiple times. So I'm just going to take a card and put it on one of these piles, and I swear I haven't pre-planned this. It's just I'm going to put it on a random one. Just, I don't know, it doesn't matter, let's put it on that one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these cards and pick them up in random order, and just, okay, now I've got the deck back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them down again in 8 piles, but face up. So, this might take a while. It doesn't matter how many cards are in each pile, it's random. Okay, so once more, I'm going to pick them up in random order. Doesn't matter which order they're in. Okay, so now, at this point, I would ask you what your card is, and you would tell me it's the 2 of spades. How did I know that? Well, we'll get to that later. But at this point, I'd pretend to not know what your card is and ask you what it is, and you'd say 2 of spades, and I'd be, okay, let's find out. T, W, O, O, F, S, P, A, D, E, S. Right there. So yeah, I spelled it out. 2 of spades. And that's your card. How did I do this? Well, I'll show you. Now, you might remember in the beginning I showed you it was a legit deck. Not completely. You might remember, whoa, that's strange. Okay, you might remember that on the bottom there was the Ace of Spades. Doesn't matter what card is on the bottom, you just have to memorize which card is on the bottom. It doesn't matter at all. It could be the 9 of diamonds, it could be Ace of Spades, it could be the King of Hearts. It doesn't matter. So, just for this purpose, we're going to keep it at the Ace of Spades because that's easier to remember. So, what you'd have them do is you would have them pick any card, and it doesn't matter which card it is. See, this part is 4 clubs. Okay, so then I'd make 8 random piles. Now, this is the part where the Ace of Spades comes into play. I have to remember that the Ace of Spades is on the bottom of that pile, right there. And then I make the rest of the piles. And now, at this point, I lied to you once. because I said it doesn't matter which one of these you put on. It's true, it doesn't matter, but the one thing that is, you can't put it on top of this pile. I say it doesn't matter, but since the ace of spades is on the bottom of this one, I'm really hoping you don't put it on the bottom of that pile. If they do, just say, come on, the first one, that's too obvious. You have to try to get them to put it on any one of these piles. So most of the time, though, they will. They'll put it on just any pile, one of these, it doesn't matter. Then you appear to pick them up in random order, but you don't. The only two that matter is that one with the ace of spades and one with their card. So you'll pick a few up randomly, but then you'll pick up the one with the ace of spades and put it directly on top of their card, and then you'll put it on top, and then you'll put the rest of that on the bottom. So now you know the ace of spades is directly on top of whatever their card is. So then you start putting down the 8 piles again, but this time face up. And the face up is for you to know. You just put them down randomly, and as soon as you see the ace of spades, you go to the next pile, bam, there's their card, the 4 of clubs. So now you know their card. It's right after the ace of spades. You know that their card is the 4 of clubs. So you'll just continue making this pile random amount, and I lied to you one more time. I said it doesn't matter how many is in each pile. That's mostly true, except for the pile right after this one. You make the 4 of clubs. You know the 4 of clubs is on the bottom of this pile. So you just make that pile randomly, a random number of cards. The next pile, there's a specific amount of cards you put on there. It's the amount of letters in the 4 of clubs. So what I would do is I would go spell out quietly to myself the 4 of clubs as I'm putting it down here. F-O-U-R-O-F-C-L-U-B-S. Okay, then I would continue to put them down randomly until I just exhaust the deck out. So the only thing that I know at this point is that their card, the 4 of clubs, is on the bottom of here, and this pile spells out 4 of clubs. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to appear to pick them up randomly, but not completely random. I'll just pick up a few, and I'll have them face down, and then what I'll do is I'll pick up the card with the pile with their card on it, which is right there. Once you turn it upside down, their card is on the top. You put that on the top, and then you put the pile that spells out their card directly on top of that, and then you put every other pile on the bottom. Alright, so at that point, you know their card, you know it's the 4 of clubs, but you ask them what their card is, just to make it better, I don't know. So once they say it's the 4 of clubs, then you say, okay, well, let's find out. F-O-U-R-O-F-C-L-U-B-S, and now you've just taken out the pile that that spelled out their card, and then their card should be directly below that. And that's how you do that trick. Thanks for watching today's Something Funny or Interesting Time.